Every day in our magazine and on our website, we cover southeastern Wisconsin's entrepreneurs and innovators. They're the ones that make the region's economy go and grow, and it's extremely exciting to recognize many of the best in class today. We're going to jump right in and lead off with our Lifetime Achievement Award winner. The award honors the career and community service of an extraordinary southeastern Wisconsin entrepreneur. This is our 17th Lifetime Achievement Entrepreneur Award winner. And the past winners are a who's who of the region's business icons. So I'm going to give you a review of who we've honored in the past. 2005, George Dalton, founder of Fiserv and Nova One. 2006, Robert Kern, founder of Generac. 2007, Joseph Zilber, founder of Town Realty. 2008, Harry Quadracki, founder of Quad Graphics. 2009, Richard Pieper of PPC Partners. 2010 was Stephen Marcus of the Marcus Corporation. 2011, Fritz and Deborah Usinger of Usinger Sausage. 2012, Sheldon Lubar, founder of Lubar & Company. 2013, Michael Cudahy, founder of Marquette Electronics. 2014, Gary Grunow, commercial real estate developer. 2015 was Steve Laughlin, co-founder of Laughlin Constable. 2016 was George and Julie Mosier, co-founders of National Business Furniture. 2017, Carol Schneider, founder and CEO of Seek Career Staffing. 2018, Tim Keene of Keene Consultants and Golden Angels Investors. 2019, Donald Baumgartner, founder of Paper Machinery Corp. And 2020 was Valerie Daniels Carter, who's a fast food restaurant mogul of V&J Holding Company. So as you can see, that was a lot of big names that I'm sure you recognize. And this year, we're very excited to add to that prestigious list John Hammes, founder and partner of Milwaukee-based Hammes Company. John founded his company in 1991 after working for many years for Trammell Crow Company, which is one of the largest commercial real estate firms in the nation. John and his company saw an opportunity in healthcare real estate, and he grew it to become the top healthcare facility development firm in the nation. He seized another opportunity to be the project manager for construction of the Kohl Center, UW-Madison Sports and Entertainment Arena. That led to the company serving as project manager for the construction of several other sports facilities, including NFL stadiums, including the expansion of Lambeau Field. An advocate for higher education, John taught for a time at UW-Madison and has served on the boards for Teach for America, Wisconsin Foundation and Alumni Association, Marquette University, and the Medical College of Wisconsin. In fact, he's going to have to go right from here to a Marquette board meeting this morning. For seizing opportunity, finding innovative ways to build an incredible business, and for giving back in support of higher education, please join me in congratulating and welcoming our 2021 Lifetime Achievement Entrepreneur Award winner, John Hammes. John?
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Dan. Thank you to the Biz Times for this award. To be recognized for one's career is very special, so I'm honored. I also want to congratulate the other award recipients. You've accomplished a lot, and I was most impressive with what you've done already, and I wish you success going forward. So, Andrew, when we were talking about comments today, I asked Andrew, what would you like me to say? And he said, well, why don't you share a couple of your stories that correlate to the theme here today, innovation and entrepreneurship. And obviously over a career, there's a lot of stories, some good, some bad, some success, some failure. But I've always believed that really it's through failure that you learn. And maybe that's why I kind of perceive myself as a learned man. But I'm going to share with you this morning two stories. I came out of business school and started with the Trammell Crow Company. And that was founded by an individual by the name of Trammell Crow. And he was and is a legend in the commercial real estate space. But Trammell, it was my good fortune that Trammell tucked me under his wing and spent time with me. and over the years was a true mentor. And Trammell was from Dallas, so he had these kind of southern mannerisms. He would put his arm over my shoulder and say, there's as much risk in doing nothing. There's as much risk in doing nothing as there is in doing something. Or the best way to fail is to succumb to the business disease that because you're smart in one area, you're smart in all areas. So he would pass these little, I called them pearls of wisdom on, and I've kept them with me during my career. So in 1990, the economy went into a recession, commercial real estate went into a depression. Trammell had long left the company, and the management board, which I was one of, over time we all kind of spun out. And so in 1991 I left. I brought a group with me from Chicago and a portfolio of buildings. So I was a partner, I was an owner in these buildings, and when I left we traded out assets, so I had my own portfolio. And I started a company exporting real estate services to the healthcare sector. This begins my first story. So I met a man in 1993 by the name of Ed Howe. He was the chief executive officer for Aurora Healthcare. And Ed was a real visionary. He was at the time the chairman of the American Hospital Association, which was a prestigious think tank in Washington. And he felt that healthcare had to change the ways that they were delivering care to their patient. And he talked about a concept called a hospital without beds. And nobody really understood what that meant, hospital without beds. So we spent about a month in a conference room with a big grease board. Ed, his CFO was Don Nestor, and then the various department heads would rotate in and out of the room. And we tried to come to build a plan that corresponded to these thoughts. And ultimately, we broke ground and we delivered the first building in Pewaukee and the second building in Kenosha. And that building today is commonly referred to as an ambulatory facility. And there were two really significant rewards from that experience. The first, we had, was just the fact that healthcare was being transformed at the time with an emphasis on outpatient care versus inpatient care. And you think about what has occurred today, 70% of all surgeries can be done in an ambulatory facility at 30 to 35% less cost than if that same surgery was conducted in an inpatient facility. So it's really a transformation in the delivery of healthcare, and to be part of that was very rewarding. Now, we didn't come up with the idea per se, but we did bring definition to the idea, and we brought the product to the market. So it was a rewarding experience to be attached to that. The second reward from that experience was healthcare senior management teams from all over the country would come in and they wanted to walk and experience this hospital without beds. And in many cases, if not most cases, they would ask us if we would build this facility for them in Michigan, Ohio, North Carolina, Texas, Arizona, state of Washington. And in a matter of 4 years, we went from a one-office, Brookfield, kind of a local boutique company, to 8 offices across the country with a national brand and the perceived leader in the ambulatory space. So it had a dramatic impact to us, and it was looking back, one of the significant chapters in our company's history. Then in 2000, many of these providers asked if we would not only build the facility, but if we also would also raise the capital and own the facility. Providers didn't want to use their capital tied up in bricks and mortar. And so we started to monetize those commercial buildings that I'd brought with from Crow, and redeployed that capital back in to provide the sponsorship capital to build the ambulatory facilities. And then later added other private investors and leveraged it, created a capital stack so that we could build these facilities all across the country. And over 10 years, we built a very significant portfolio, a national portfolio of ambulatory and medical office buildings. Then we hit the financial recession. And shortly after the financial recession, the big real estate investment trusts, REITs, which are publicly traded, came into the healthcare space with a much lower cost of capital. And they basically, in a material way, cut into our market share. And so we faced in 2012 a decision that we were either going to have to exit this part of our business or we were going to have to do something that's different. We looked at a lot of different options, analyzed each, and ultimately made a decision to build our own private equity platform. Now, just to give you a little flavor, that's a major decision, to build a new platform. The private equity is regulated by the SEC, and so the people that we had in the core company, we could not share. And all of our accounting, IT, reporting, asset management, everything had to be totally separated, and you had to build it all from scratch. So it was a very significant capital infusion, and obviously a very significant commitment to management and to our entire team. So we had to import a lot of people from the outside, and we went forward to build it. The people that we targeted to be our capital partners in order to compete with the publicly traded REITs were the very large state pension funds, state of Texas, state of Ohio, state of New Jersey, as well as very large endowments. And these are some of the most sophisticated investors in the country. They're very big. They look at hundreds of ideas, and they can select which investor or which alternative they're going to go with. And in order to compete in that space, you have to be deemed institutional grade. So the pension funds will hire a financial consultant, and these two are very, very smart, sophisticated companies out of Boston, New York, San Francisco. And they would come in and they would check under your hood, so to speak. And they would give you a grade, and you cannot have a grade that's weak in any area. You have to be institutional grade. So one of the real rewards from that experience is that we came out in 2014, and we were one of the new best ideas in the pension fund world, and we hit all the boxes, and we were deemed institutional grade and had high marks across the board as a new startup. And obviously that was a big step. It was another major chapter in our company. We had a fundraise in 2014. We had a second fundraise in 2017. We've raised well over $1 billion. When we add that into the leverage, it gave us a capital spigot of $4 billion, and we've deployed most of that to date, and we're going back into the market early next year. So I wouldn't have shared that story unless it was also a success, but two very significant chapters in our company. And I kind of take a step back and I think in terms of innovation and entrepreneurship. And I would say that these are risk-taking decisions but not gambles. They're thoughtful. In fact, I would give it the, I would suggest that it's more of a thoughtful judgment as far as the decision. They're not natural activities, and they're a function of a lot of work and a lot of teamwork. But when you can execute on these fronts, it allows you the freedom to be a leader in your industry as opposed to be obliged to be a follower to the competition. Lastly, I would encourage those of you that are looking to start a new business or in a business to seek and find a mentor. It can have a powerful impact on you personally and on your business. And it certainly worked that way with me. When I look back at 2012 or 2013, when we were making the decision regarding the private equity platform, I'm reminded by some advice somebody gave me years ago. They said, there's as much risk doing nothing than doing something. And so, Andrew, Dan, Biz Times, thank you, and congratulations to the other award winners.